Hello, thanks so much for taking the time to sit down and have a chat with me. Saidin, you're one of 6 artists participating in our annual home exhibition. You're a multidisciplinary artist. You work across various media, including film and digital painting. Perhaps to start, could you tell us a little bit about your artistic practice?
It is kind of almost hard to talk about one's artistic practice. So the easiest way to go about it is, I suppose, is to split it into the disciplines themselves. I make cinema. I'm a filmmaker, but I am a different kind of filmmaker, and I'm also a painter. Now I'm a digital painter, if you like. But I'm also a songwriter. I've written more than 100 songs, and I've published 2 books in Bosnian, and I have many other books waiting to be published, and many other films that I'm working on, many paintings I'm working on. So it is kind of hard to speak about it in simple terms, but I have always worked very hard, and I felt that throughout my artistic practice, what I was able to achieve within one, um, I, I needed. There was always something else that could be achieved, and so different medium gave me these different opportunities and chances to express myself in that way.
That you're exhibiting in the home exhibition. There are a series of digital paintings. Could you tell us a little bit more about those works specifically?
These digital paintings, this was a great breakthrough for me in my artistic practice. Because I painted with paint in a sweaty, garage studio, surrounded by possum weed and all kinds of things for about 5 years intensely, without stopping, because I was making a film with somebody and that was stalling. It was a bad experience. Is to eventuate. But what, in hindsight, what that gave me was this chance to paint. So I would get up at 6 in the morning, and on a cold day, on a frosty morning, and I would go and paint all day. Come back at 11, have lunch. It was a real commitment. But the way I was working then was from inside. I never worked from observation of things. So what changed? The digital painting, its new medium and style, gave me a chance to actually work from observation and to exercise my ability to draw anything. As I said to someone at some point, I said I realized I can draw anything, and so it was great because I felt it was great to draw things that people can directly associate with and understand, see, recognize them, and associate to them directly, and then through that and using that ability of them to recognize them and that way connect with them, I got a chance to tell an intimate story that was still powerful and specific. So these 6 pieces I'm exhibiting are quite revolutionary pieces of art for me. There's a piece called With Nat Kelly in Paris, just kind of when I say that sentence, I kind of get a bit excited. My hair is standing on my arms because I really felt there was a crucial point in my in the practice. It was associating myself with the symbols of the Australian past and its identity, bringing them into my own consciousness, and equally us within the Australian sphere and culture. Yet at the same time, innovating it all of us together forward. For example, bringing the Eiffel Tower on the beach itself and calling it Paris. I'm still extremely excited about that aspect of my current work, where I use these old and established international symbols of artistic identity and established culture, and I bring them together with the symbols of Australian culture again, putting them on the same level within the same international consciousness, on equal path. And of course, while doing that, still always inevitably trying to tell a deeply, profoundly intimate story. So the Bleeding Mona Lisa's Babies is a painting, it's a self-portrait of me as Mona Lisa, with children in her arms, because at some point, and I think don't think anybody else has ever done that. A lot of people have played with Mona Lisa in all their lives. I don't think anybody's ever done that to Mona Lisa and given her children. That's one aspect of that painting, but of course the central story is me as Mona Lisa on one hand, holding my children in this country with my memories and past, screaming, it's echoing, it feels in my ear, and on one side the symbols of Australian culture that I'm fusing with, like kangaroo and Vegemite, that I found pretty exciting, and direct symbols, of what I've always had these ideas, but the way I was painting then, I wasn't able to deliver them.
Let's talk a bit about inspiration. So, what inspires your work? Is it memories, experiences, people? What is it that inspires you and inspires the work that you make?
This is hard to talk about, but I have said it already, so I might as well repeat it. My life changed when I saw the execution of my father. I became the artist that I am. I started jumping on planes. I made my first film, Srebrenica Blues, about Srebrenica genocide, when I was 25. And that film is still considered to be one of the most unique films of that genre. I think that was a great inspiration for me for many years. I was trying to show and make the art for the glory of my father. I wanted the world to realize that how could have they done that to the man whose son could make all this art, most of it, which has been considered as extremely relevant. Then when my daughter was born, I realized, Sevda, I realized that I was making it all for her. And among all that, I suppose I was making some of that for myself. Inspiration is great and inevitable. Some artists, like Stravinsky, have said, "Let them be inspired. I have to get up and do my work." And that is also true. There's the aspect of committed work that has to exist. But I think even for that, the inspiration is, however muted and however not foundational at every point of one's working practice, it always has to exist, even for getting out of the bed, And so inspiration is precious, and you should get it anywhere you can.
I mean, looking to the future, what's next?
I don't know. I'm hoping I can keep working at the same speed and the same intensity, and with the same soulfulness and wisdom and honesty that I have. And it is a constant fight. It is not given that one case I'm talking about myself that I feel found all the time. I think that one of the great parts of being an artist is a constant questioning and disruption, even self-disruption. And when everybody's, even in silence and without any imposition, I find ways to self-disrupt my own piece, in the sense of some sort of foundness, being found, continually questioning that and expanding my consciousness, the subconsciousness, like that. Some of it is an unintentional subconscious process. I really would like to just chill out and don't worry about anything the way other people or some don't. But I think it's a subconscious process for the artist to continually try to expand the consciousness and the subconscious space from which the art is seeping from. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to do more of the same and be happy at the same time. Be able to sit with my daughter and run around in the park and do all those things that are more important, even than even art. But I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say more important or not. Who knows? But it's all beautiful. It's part of one's happiness, so it's all equally it makes me quite happy. I'm still very demanding, so and it's all subconscious. If I haven't done a piece of art that I'm completely happy with, I'm not satisfied. I'm just running around and until I'm happy. So I hope that I'll be able to seep enough strength from to doing more of the same.
Thank you. Thanks so much for sharing your thoughts and your wisdom and giving us a little bit more of an insight into your practice and, you know, the ideas and the thoughts that go into your work. I really appreciate it.
I'd like to thank you, Esther, and to thank the City of Greater Tanzania Council for your work that you're doing, because as I said to you in one of the emails, it cannot be overstated, the importance of supporting the real Australian art, contemporary art, in this way is an amazing thing, and I'm very happy to be part of it. And thank you.